Okay, example 2 says to find x, y, and p, and what we have here are two intersecting lines. Okay, if you see something that looks like a line, it's a line. Okay, that's one thing that can be assumed in a geometric problem. You can't assume a right angle. Okay, going back to this other problem, I know that's a right angle because it's marked that way. If that little box wasn't there, I couldn't say that's a 90-degree angle. Okay, just because it looks like a right angle. But straight lines can be assumed. They look straight, they're straight. They didn't want to be straight to be wavy. All right, so it's pretty obvious when you got straight lines. What we're looking at here is vertical angles, and we're also looking at straight lines. Properties that are happening in this problem that we can use. So let's start off with the straight lines. This line's a straight line, which tells me immediately that these two angles make 180 and these two angles make 180. Okay, looking at creating equations that might be useful to me, x plus y equals 180, is that useful? No, it's too many variables. P plus 50 equals 180. Absolutely. So let's do that one first. P plus 50 is equal to 180. So if I go to solve that, what would I do? Subtract 50 from both sides, which has the effect of getting rid of 50 there, making negative 50 come over here. So P ends up equaling 130 degrees.
Why can't you do 50 and y?
I can.
Oh, you can.
But I was just focusing on this line to begin with, Braden. Yep. So Braden's question is, why couldn't we do 50 and y make 180? Well, we can. So let's focus on that. So if I'm looking at this line, and I know for a fact that these two angles make 180, these two angles make 180. All right? X plus p equals 180 doesn't help me very much. We will in a second. But a y plus 50 equals 180 is a solvable equation. So y plus 50 equals 180. Oops, 180. What I said and what I wrote were not the same. All right, y plus 50 equals 180. So again, if I solve, I'm going to move the 50 over here. I'm going to get y is equal to 130. Once you figure out what something equals in a geometric picture, you're allowed to change those numbers. So y is 130, p is 130, right? So now looking at this circled stuff that I have here, x plus 130 is 180, right? And just like the other two, I can solve by moving this over here, subtract, I get x equals 50. All right. So, real quick, I'm going to erase all this mess here and just draw some numbers. We figured out y is 130, p is 130, x is 50. What do you notice about those numbers?
They're vertical. They're across from each other.
Across from each other are the same, right? That's 50, so is that. That's 130, so is that. That is a geometric property. It's called vertical angles are equal. And vertical angles are just angles that are across each other at an intersection. All right, keep that in mind. Now let me just warn you about something that happens in your homework problems. Suppose you have some vertical angles. Let's go like that. Let's say that this is 120 degrees, and let's say this is x, and this is 4p, and this is 6y. Okay? Same basic picture we just saw, right? Two lines intersecting, creating four angles. We know vertical angles were equal. We know straight lines make 180. Let's take a look at an equation we can make out of this. And it says find x, y, and p. Take a look at that. If I made an equation out of that, what would I say?
6y plus 120 is equal to 180.
Very good. 6y plus 120 equals 180. All right, so there's the equation based on the truth of a straight line. Straight line has 180. The two angles making the straight line add up to 180. If I go to solve this equation, I get 6y equals 60. Does that tell me that y equals anything? No. So now I need to divide by 6 to figure out that y actually equals 10. All too often I see people doing a homework problem like this, they'll just say y equals 60 because it's in the spot where 60 is supposed to be. All right? They don't go through the equation solving, they don't go through the thinking process, they just go to the straight, that's 60-degree angle and I'm done. Okay, they just want to be done. All right? What does x equal?
60.
X equals 60 because this angle up here equals 60, right? 6y equals 60, but y only equals 10. This is only x. X has to be 60 to make that angle 60. How big is this angle here? Not what is P, but how big is the angle? The angle's 120, right?
Yep.
Because vertical angles are equal. But P doesn't equal 120, 4P equals 120. So divide by 4, you get P equals 30. So just be cautious of a problem like that, that if there's numbers in front of the letters, you still have to solve the letter, okay, even though the angle measures something different, okay? And I meant to change that example problem this year because it never shows up like that, and so that's why I threw this up. By next year, hopefully I have one that has these numbers on it, so that type of mistake doesn't happen.
Actually, that's how
Next
seven-
one does, yes.